Very short, because I know that your time is very valuable, and I would rather use it in getting actual value in Krishna consciousness from His great Sriman Sankarshan Adhikari. He's my spiritual master, so I call him Srila Gurudev. We also have his preaching partner of many decades, Her Grace Mother Vishnu Priya Devi Dasi, who is sitting right there on the stage. Students and disciples call her Guru Mataji, so she's here as well today. Both of them started Krishna consciousness very, very early in life, and though in different parts of the world, Sankarshan Prabhu or Srila Gurudev started his Krishna consciousness in his early 20s in the US, and he started in the 60s actually, 1960s. And then he was initiated by Srila Prabhupada in 1971. So for more than 50 years, he has been following his spiritual master very, very seriously and very, very sincerely. And he has performed many different services in Krishna consciousness around the world. And he is an initiating spiritual master within the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He is very well known for his online course called the Ultimate Self-Realization Course, which is the longest running online bhakti course in the entire world, and has more than 29,000 subscribers. And you can join today, and all of you have your phone. We are used to whipping them out at a moment's notice, so whip them out and go to joincourse.com, www.joincourse.com, and sign up right away. You get a daily thought for the day and a Q&A answered personally by him. You can ask your questions too, and he does not delegate his question answering to anybody else. So he spent approximately anywhere from 11 to 13 hours personally painstakingly answering questions from thousands of seekers around the world, thousands of serious people around the world. They have been traveling a lot over the years, and this is his first post-pandemic trip, and Toronto is the very first stop in, I think, about 14 countries that he will be visiting. A little bit about Guru Mataji. She started out in Krishna consciousness as a schoolgirl, and then she was initiated in 1978. And since 1978, she's been sincerely practicing and seriously practicing Krishna consciousness, and she's a guide and mentor to thousands of devotees around the world who ask her for practical application of the, even Srila Gurudev points disciples and students to her whenever it comes to the practical application of the principles, which are actually quite difficult to apply and can cause havoc if not done properly. So, Guru Mataji and Gurudev both are here in the temple today, and there's going to be one program in North York tomorrow. If anybody is interested, you can reach out to me for that. Tomorrow morning, that is, starts at 4:30 a.m. So, what we're going to do is, because the temple room is very crowded, and because they are in their mid-70s now, both of them, and everybody might find this strange, but COVID is not yet over. Okay, so I'm requesting that anybody who is within a 10 feet radius of these devotees, please put on a mask. If you don't have a mask, we can get you one. Okay, please do this. Please immediately do this. And if you're approaching them, please take into account that they're in their mid-70s, they're not in the best of health, and they have about 14 countries to travel to in the next 3 months, and any slight sickness is going to completely destroy their preaching plans and also be a hindrance to many thousands of people who are waiting for them around the world. So thank you very much. Okay, so without further ado, this whole visit has been about humility. Trinadapi Sunichena is a famous instruction by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada emphasized that humbler than the blade of grass. So blade of grass, you can trample on it and it doesn't complain. We are actually meant to be humbler than a blade of grass in order to advance in spiritual life. Now, true humility is a very rare commodity. False humility abounds everywhere, and you get all of this show of humility. But in order to really learn what humility means, we have to approach those who have actually successfully practiced bhakti in a very serious and strict way for the 4 or 5 decades like they have. Okay, so please welcome them to the home of Sri Radha Kirchor Gopinath, Sri New Remuna Dham, which was established by Srila Prabhupada in 1972, and his followers. And please listen carefully. And right after the class, as prasadam is going to be served there, you are welcome to get your plates and join us in Srila Prabhupada's quarters. Anybody who is coming to Srila Prabhupada's quarters must be masked and must maintain a 2-meter distance from them. I request this, please. But they will be here they have a very hectic schedule, and they'll be up at 1 o'clock in the morning. So it cannot go on forever. So if you want to come, don't wait to finish your prasad and then come, but please immediately get your plate and don't eat it yet, and just rush upstairs if you have any personal questions. We have some books. We have a very few of those left since our whirlwind tour that started on Saturday. So without further ado, please welcome His Grace H.G.Sankarshan Adhikari'S. Thank you very much.
When is the lecture again? What time? I think we should revolutionize the whole world. What do you think? Make a spiritual revolution. So tonight we're going to read the most revolutionary book, 271, right? Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text number 71. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. Purport. To become desireless means not to desire anything for sense gratification. In other words, desire for becoming Krishna conscious is actually desirelessness. To understand one's actual position as the eternal servitor of Krishna without falsely claiming this material body to be oneself, and without falsely claiming proprietorship over anything in the world, is the perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. One who is situated in this perfect stage knows, because Krishna is the proprietor of everything, everything must be for the satisfaction of Krishna. Arjuna wanted to satisfy his own senses by not fighting, but when he became fully Krishna conscious, he fought because Krishna won in the fight. For himself, there is no desire to fight, but for Krishna, the same Arjuna fought to his best ability. Real desirelessness is desire for the satisfaction of Krishna, not an artificial attempt to abolish desires. The living entity cannot be desireless and senseless, but he does have to change the quality of desire. A materially desireless person certainly knows that everything belongs to Krishna, Ishvashamidam Sarvam, and therefore he does not falsely claim proprietorship over anything. This transcendental knowledge is based on self-realization, namely knowing perfectly well that every living entity is an eternal part Krishna in spiritual identity, that the eternal position of the living entity is therefore never on the level of Krishna or greater than him. This understanding of Krishna consciousness is the basic principle of real peace. Shri Guru Shri Jata Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sahaganaganatam Vitam Tam Sujiva Sadaita Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So reading about desirelessness here reminds me of my own spiritual pathway. As a young spiritual seeker back in 1968, I was wanting to deny. It's like the Maya is saying, neti, not this, not that. I wanted to deny, and cut away all material attachments. Deny. But one night I had a realization, as I was trying to deny everything, that after denying everything, there's one thing left to deny, and that's denial itself. I remember I wrote it down on a piece of paper. I denied, and I denied until I could deny no longer, and then I had to start accepting. So I was looking for something transcendental to accept, and the idea of a spiritual revolution to the world, to the planet, that was what I accepted. So I hitchhiked out to San Francisco, and who did I meet? The devotees. First people I met were the devotees. But due to still being included in my Mayavadi philosophy, it took me a couple of years before I actually came to the point of surrendering. But the idea of desirelessness, you have to come to the point of accepting. That's the point. You have to come to the point of accepting something transcendental. Simply cutting away, don't desire, no desire of this, don't desire this, don't desire that. You see, you have to cut away also that denying, and accept something transcendental. So the beauty of this is that we actually have that thing, that ultimate happiness sitting there within us. Here we are suffering in the material world like anything. Suffering in this way, suffering in that way, birth, death, old age, disease, adi miseries of the mind and the body, adi-bhotic miseries caused by the living beings, adi-daivic miseries caused by natural disturbances. One one misery after another misery after another misery after another misery. But this is artificial. Our position actually is eternal bliss and knowledge, Satchidananda Vigraha. So we're eternally indebted to the divine base Om Vishnu Pad Para Aham Sapari Vachakacharya Astatarasadashi Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Ki Gandhi Goswami Maharaj. We're bringing us to this position. We can actually regain our original pure natural consciousness. You see, Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition on the mind. It's the awakening of the original natural energy. In other words, we're just saying, be who you are. This material society is training us to try to be something we're not. Wouldn't that be ridiculous to try to be something that you're not? We're trying to be these bodies. I'm trying to be a male or a female or a Hindu or a Christian or an American or a Canadian or an Indian. I'm trying to be this or that or this or that, but that's not us. Even as, I remember as a little kid, be a good little boy, you see, right? But how can I be, I'm not a boy. How can I be a good little boy? I'm not even a boy. I should have been taught, now you become a good spirit soul, fully cemented in Krishna. That's how I should have been taught. But I was fortunate to come in contact with his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, through his disciples. He brought me to him, he trained me how to become his disciple. So I'm eternally indebted to them and to him for bringing me out of this quagmire of material existence, miserable position, and trying to enjoy in that place where there's no enjoyment. It's like if somebody goes into the desert and tries to get a drink of water, will they be successful? Can you get some water in the desert? No. You have to go to a reservoir of water, and even unlimited water. So the actual reservoir of happiness is there within you. You won't find it in Toronto or New York City or Austin or London. You won't find happiness in the material world. I don't care how much facility you may have, buildings, cars, money, this, that. I don't care how much material facility you might, even if you become a multi-billionaire, you cannot find any happiness in this material world. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. There is no happiness at all in this material world. The only happiness is called Maya Sukhaya, or illusory happiness. So my dear audience, my dear listeners, my dear spirit souls, please don't try to find happiness in that place where happiness does not exist. You have to come to the transcendental position, beyond your mind, beyond your body. You have to come to that transcendental position. Jivara Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nichadas. The constitutional position of the living entity is the eternal servant of Krishna. Krishna is actually wonderful. Krishna is amazing. Can you imagine a person who is the source of everything? Everything emanates from him. We emanate from him. Everything, just imagine what an amazing person he is. We are all emanations of Krishna. It's like the sun is emitting so many particles, sun rays. We are all the rays of God, the energy of God. He's emanating us from himself. For what purpose do we exist? Why is Krishna doing this? He doesn't need us to exist. And he has Radharani, why does he need us? But Krishna is emanating us from himself for the purpose of increasing his loving ecstasy unlimitedly. Every single living entity has a certain type of quality or characteristic that makes him unique from everyone else. There's no carbon copies among the Jiva souls. Every Jiva soul has his unique qualities, or his or her unique qualities and characteristics that can give a certain type of flavor or taste to Krishna in loving relationships. So that means when we're here in this material existence, Krishna is actually missing us. Not that we're just in some, some park or who cares. No, Krishna is actually missing this. We're very dear, beloved associates of the Lord. Each one of us has a certain unique relationship that satisfies Krishna in a certain way. So Krishna is missing that loving relationship. And he wants us back. That's why he comes. Yada yada hi dharmasha, glanir bharati bharata, abhyutanam dharmasha, tadagunam shujamya. Krishna comes again and again and again. He sends great devotees here like the divine grace, Om Vishnu Paramaham Suparivajanacharja Astadara Shishi Maresi Bhakti Vananjati Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada to give us this wonderful knowledge, this amazing personality. Can you imagine? Can you imagine coming to America with only $10 after 2 heart attacks? Can you imagine the great courage, the great bravery of Srila Prabhupada? How much faith that he had in the order of his spiritual master that you must spread this Krishna consciousness over to the English-speaking world. Can you imagine the great courage, the great love, the great determination of Srila Prabhupada? For our determination, we have Prabhupada's example. Also, Prabhupada gives the example of a little sparrow. You all know a little sparrow, right? Little sparrow's egg was stolen by the ocean. The sparrow requested the eggs, requested the ocean to return the eggs. The ocean refused to return the eggs. So the sparrow said, "Now I will dry you up, you rascal." So the sparrow is going down, give it 3 drops of water, running into the land, coming back, and everyone's laughing. Just see that stupid little bird, she's going to run herself to death. She can't do anything to dry up that ocean. She's so small, the ocean is so big. But one person was not laughing, that was Garuda, king of the birds. So Garuda came swooping in on Garuda Airlines. Tell that ocean, you better return those eggs, I'm going to dry you up, you rascal. So the ocean did return the eggs. So we should be determined like a little sparrow. Even though we have, our hearts are so polluted with so much lust, so much anger, so much greed, so much madness, so much delusion, so much envy. It seems impossible sometimes that we can actually become qualified to see Krishna face to face like the pure devotees can. Brahmanjana Charita Bhakti Vilachanena Santapsadena Hideshana Lokayanti Yam Shama Shundaram Chinnikana Svarupam Govindamari Purusham Brahmam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the practical Lord, the Vishama Sundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable and memorable attributes of the pure devotees see in the heart of hearts, the eye of devotion tinged with the sap of love. So that's the actual position we're meant to come to. Prabhupada even personally told me in one letter, he said, now you just become qualified to see Krishna face to face. So it seems impossible. We're so lusty, we're so angry, we're so greedy, we're so lazy, we're so crazy. We have all these anarchies polluting our hearts. It seems impossible how could ever come to that point. Be able to see Krishna face to face, eye to eye. But we have to always remember our 6 years, our little sparrows. I know keep trying every day. Get up in the morning, chant my japamala, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Take bath, observe the have a Mangal Arati, sing the Nirvastika prayer, worship the Tulsi tree, make some nice breakfast offering for the Lord, and honor that prasadam in this way. We have to make Krishna the center, the God-centered conception. Ishavashmidam sarva. You must make Krishna the center of your life, not only on Sunday afternoon, but every day you should make Krishna the center. Every minute you should make Krishna the center. Like the mind, our mental tendency to become absorbed in this thing and that thing, so many things that are not Krishna. That's why Krishna says, Yato nishchalati manashchanchalamashtaram From whatever and wherever the mind wanders, due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back into the control of the self. So learn how to bring your mind back to Krishna. That's why this chanting is so powerful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The name of Krishna, the fame of Krishna, the pastime of Krishna, the entourage of Krishna, the parapet, the associates of Krishna, the devotees of Krishna. There's so many ways. The prasad of Krishna, the temple of Krishna, the deity. There's so many ways we can bring our mind back to Krishna. So we have to take advantage of all these facilities that Krishna has given us to revive our original natural state of consciousness. We have to come back to that original pure state that we once had before we made the stupid mistake of trying to enjoy separately from Krishna, thinking, what would it be like if I was the Supreme? We were curious. What is that saying? Curiosity killed the cat, right? We think, what would it be like if I was Supreme? So Krishna said, well, if you want to check it out, and you really want to think that's like, okay, I'll give you a world where you can think you're the Supreme. That's why everybody walks around thinking they're the Supreme. There's so many conflicts going on. I think I'm the Supreme, you think you're the Supreme, and we fight. As soon as our concepts of supremacy overlap, we fight. Husband and wife fight, brothers and sisters fight, neighbors fight, countries fight, so many fights going on. I'm the fight. It's like Russia attacking Ukraine. That should be our property, not yours. It's all due to this false sense of proprietorship, false sense of supremacy. But we have to realize I'm nothing. I'm just a tiny, insignificant spark, part and parcel of that Supreme Personality of God. I'm meant to be absorbed 24/7, thinking about Him, talking about Him, serving Him, bowing down to Him, developing my love for Him. That's the purpose of my existence. The whole purpose of my existence is to have a loving relationship with Krishna, our God. That's why I exist. I have no other reason for existence other than having a loving relationship with Krishna, our God. So all these other things are just deviations. Any other desire we have besides desiring to become a pure devoted of the Lord is simply a deviation from our original natural state. So my dear ladies and gentlemen, kids, please do not cheat yourself by trying to enjoy in a way which is not the actual means of enjoyment. Wouldn't that be stupid? It's like a fish trying to enjoy out of the water. The fish's natural environment is in the water. That's where his natural happiness is. He thinks, well, those people on the land are having a great time. I'm going to hop up on the beach and see if I can enjoy it. We are like fish out of the water right now, trying to enjoy this material world. We cannot enjoy it. It's not possible. The only way we can actually enjoy is to come back to our original natural condition. So the pure devotee comes to pick us up and throw us back in the water. That's why this chanting and these regulated principles are very important things. How about it's picking us up and putting us back into our natural position. At least 16 rounds of Japamala every day, and no illicit sex, no eating, no intoxication, no gambling. Because these things bring us back. We violate these regulated principles, we reinforce our false sense of identity that I'm this body. My pleasures and gratifying my tongue, gratifying my genitals, that's my happiness. But no, that's not you. That tongue and that genitals is not you. Those are just tools that you're meant to use in the service of the Lord. So we learn how to bring everything back to Krishna. Our Prabhupada's wonderful program, these 16 rounds of Japamala every day, no illicit sex, no meeting, no intoxication, no gambling. Just try it. And you can say, well, it seems like too much for me. Just make an experiment. Try it for 6 months. Try chanting at least 16 rounds every day, and no illicit sex, No meeting, no intoxication again. Just try an experiment, see what it does for your consciousness. You do so, I guarantee you go, wow, this is amazing. I've never felt this ecstatic in my whole lifetime. I'm living in a whole other dimension. I didn't even know it existed. Another dimension. This actually, the Krishna consciousness is beyond time and space even. The transcendental dimension. You enter into timelessness. Timelessness. So, this process is very powerful. Take advantage of it and make your life sublime. Anybody have any questions? Any arguments? Corrections? Here we go, a question. You have to help me.
Prabhuji, I have a question. On the mic close. Prabhuji, how do we serve Lord Krishna when we are performing our daily duties? How do we serve him?
The way to serve Krishna in performing daily duty is to offer the results in the service of Krishna. Like you're working a job, right? So you're making money, right? So you spend that money in Krishna conscious way. By only taking prasadam, spend the money, Krishna conscious lifestyle for yourself. That money is actually Krishna's. Lakshmi Devi is Krishna's property. So, okay, Krishna has given you this money, now let me spend it in a Krishna conscious way. Not that I go to some movies, or cinema, whatever money we have, we spend it for a Krishna conscious lifestyle, and whatever excess funds are donated to Iskcon. The temple, support the temple. Remember, to make your life as a Krishna conscious. And if you can be Krishna conscious in the job, just like I used to work for an MCI long distance company. And I was getting, every week I was getting prasadam from the break room. Everybody would get prasadam cookies. There's a big treat for all the workers, all these cookies are really good. And one day I said, here, I'm undercover, no tilak, I covered up my neck beads with my coat and tie, and I hired her. But I was thinking, this is artificial. One day I put on tilak, and I had my neck beads showing. So I was selling long distance service, calling people, one of those telephone solicitors, right? And but that day, I had the tilak and the neck beads out, I was selling my name. Boom, 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 boom. My managers would get a commission on my sale. He's sitting there watching me. He's going, wow. And at the end of the day, he said, Mr. Bridge, of my Armenian Bridge. Bridge Bassi. He said, Mr. Bridge, I don't know what it is on your forehead, but from now on you must wear it every day. That's another way, you can wear tilak and work. That's another thing, wear tilak. Of course, it depends on your job. I was ordered to wear tilak on my boss. So that's another way to make your job Krishna. I have a picture of Krishna there on your desk. It's like another example, my godfather worked for Boros Corporation out in Detroit. And all these code and tie type of jobs, computer. But he had a Bhagavad Gita on his desk. And some other worker named Randy Meyer, he said, what are those cookies you're taking? He did. So that Randy Meyer, he became an initiated disciple of Prabhupada, Ramita Das. So you can take a book to your job and lay it on your desk. And somebody may say, what is that book? So see whatever ways you can infiltrate in your society, like introducing Krishna consciousness, sadhana, books, tilak, whatever you can do in front of your job, if it's possible. We're trying to pull off a global spiritual revolution, so we should do everything we can to push forward Krishna consciousness in every situation. Just like when I go shopping and the cashier says, thank you, I say, Hare Krishna. Or I went to a doctor the other day and I said, can you say Hare Krishna? And he did. He said, Hare Krishna. You get people to say Hare Krishna. Just ask him, can you say Hare Krishna? And he said, all right, Hare Krishna. Even if you get people to say Hare Krishna, it's a big thing. The first time they ever said Hare Krishna in millions of lifetimes, they didn't know what it meant, but they did it because you told them you did it because you told them to do it. So take every opportunity you can in every situation to push for Krishna consciousness. You do so, your life will be sublime and you will have an impact to actually turn the world of history right side up. Any other questions?
How do we differentiate between the desires of our ego of self and that of Krishna?
How do you differentiate between your own desires and those of Krishna?
You have to see through the eyes of Scripture. These books, you read these books, it will give you the wisdom, the vision to see what Krishna wants to do and what I want and Krishna wants. You can take your own desires and dovetail them with Krishna at the same time also. It's not that it's wrong for you to have desires, but you have to make them Krishna conscious. Just like you may desire to eat. You desire to eat, don't you? So you eat prasad. I'm hungry, well, then take prasad. Whatever, take your desires. You may just one day desire to get married and have some children. Well, marry a devotee and have Krishna and raise your children and become devotees. So take your own desires and make them Krishna conscious. Not wrong to have desire, but just have to make them all Krishna. How does Krishna want me to think? How does Krishna want me to talk? How does Krishna want me to act? You just say, that's why having a guru also is very important, because your guru is there, you can inquire from the spiritual master. Guru Maharaj, please tell me how I can engage myself fully and purely in Krishna's service. My every thought, word, and deed at all times, places, and circumstances. Krishna actually says in the Gita, Tadvidi pranipatena paripashnena sevaya vipadekshanti dekyanam jnanasta pradarshanaha. Striving on the truth, we're approaching the spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively, with the service unto him, the self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Prabhupada said not only they have seen the truth, they're seeing the truth at every minute. So by having a spiritual master, you can check with him. Well, Guru Maharaj, I have this desire. Is it good or not? You can ask your spiritual master. That's the other thing. The spiritual master will help you purify every thought, whether it be every time, all time, places, and circumstances. Does that make it a little clear? Anything else? Here we go.
Can you please pass it? Behind.
What makes somebody qualified to be a spiritual master, and what are the duties of a spiritual master? What makes someone qualified to be a spiritual master, and what are the duties of a spiritual master?
Qualification to being a spiritual master is a total and sold-out servant of your spiritual master. You can't be a spiritual master because actually 99% of the spiritual masters are bogus. I want to be a guru, get some followers, get some money. So the guru business, right? The big thing. But actually that's bogus. The way a bona fide spiritual master is to be a totally sold-out servant of a bona fide spiritual master. It's like we have a bona fide spiritual master, the Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Spiritual master must come in an unbroken line with cyclic succession, going all the way back to Krishna. So the way you become a spiritual master, you become a totally sold-out servant of your spiritual master. And Prabhupada told us in December of 1973, he told his disciples this. He said, just become perfect, understand the science of Krishna, become guru, and live with the world. So Prabhupada ordered all of his disciples to become gurus. So those who are strictly following Prabhupada, not deviating, not cheating, but actually strictly following Prabhupada, they're qualified as gurus. There's two types of gurus. There's initiating guru and instructing spiritual master. Siksha guru. Actually, Lord Chaitanya ordered everyone to become guru. Nadi Devataha Krishna Pradesh Amaragaya Guru Hoyate Desh. Whenever you meet instructing and teachings of Krishna, in this way, my order, you become Guru, the little people's Guru. Lord Chaitanya's order, you become Guru. See, by taking the teachings of Krishna and spreading them to everyone you meet. And out of so many Siksha Gurus, one who is highly qualified and he can be active initiated in spiritual matters. We have Prabhupada system, we have a governing body commission, H.G.C. And they have to approve who can act. They represent Prabhupada, and now the Prabhupada is physically gone. The GBC has to authorize someone to initiate spiritual matters. Not that anybody can start initiating. But everybody should be instructed to preach. That make that a little good? Okay. Next, we got 2.5 minutes. Any challenges? I think you're speaking bogus nonsense.
What role does humility play in all this, Jagadish?
Humility is the key. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking himself lower than the straw in the street, offering all respect to others without expecting even the slightest bit of respect for oneself. In such a state of mind, we go on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 24 hours a day with ever-increasing ecstasy. So we should become very, very humble. Very, very meek and humble. Lower than the straw in the street. Here and maybe lower than the cigarette butts in the street here in Toronto. Lower than the cigarette butts in the street. Or the dogs too. That's it. We got about 60 seconds. Any last? Here we go.
Thank you so much for your class, Maharaj. The question is about the story of the sparrow and the Garuda. Is it there in any Purana?
Can you tell the story of the sparrow and Garuda?
I already did. I already told the story.
Is it there in any Purana?
Where is the story mentioned?
In Prabhupada's, it's mentioned in Prabhupada's books in one of the purports. He sent me an email at sd@worldleader, sd@worldleader.com. I'll send you the exact place for it in the book. sd@worldleader.com. So we thank you all very much for tuning in. Take this process seriously and make your life sublime. And let's work together as a spiritual family to pull off a global spiritual revolution on this planet as soon as possible, making Krishna consciousness manifest in the heart of all living entities throughout the entire universe. Shri Baba Ki Jai. Guru Brahma.
Thank you, Sankarshan Prabhu and Guru Mata Vishnupriya Mataji for being here with us. Let's give a bigger round of applause As Maharaj Prabhu mentioned, if any of you would like to ask questions or interact with Prabhu, you're welcome to come to him with the mask as requested, just for obviously safety reasons. I know everyone's standing towards the Prashadam queue. We do want to let the person in the shoe